and all the organisers for today. I'm glad Nick's come back, because he said he was going to disappear when I started speaking, so thanks for coming back, Nick. Dr. Riaz, thank you for the Mosque. The Mosque does a lot of community work, and really when we were struggling with the vaccinations, they really stepped up, so thank you in the Mosque for all the work that they do. A lot of councillors here, they're mainly at the back, so if you're my constituent and you've got any problems, please see one of the councillors at the back.
They're run up at the door.
But it is great that everybody's come out today, and let me tell you the reason why. Because we can't do this alone. We have to do this together. We have to do this united as a community and as a group. Because they'll come for one, and you think, oh, that's okay. No, it's not okay, because eventually they'll come for all of us. And I'm really proud of everybody on this stage today. I'm proud of Sarah, I'm proud of Joe, I'm proud of Mick. I'm proud of the fact that when the journalists have them on TV and they think, oh, we're going to get them, they wipe the floor with them every single time. That will always happen if you stick to your values, your core values. You'll always be able to wipe the floor with the Tories, with the right-wing journalists. You'll be able to wipe the floor with them. Let me tell you, the government's first priority is to protect its citizens. Our government is failing at that every single time. They do not protect their citizens. I mean, and as I said at PMQs on Wednesday, you cannot have somebody who's a security risk as the Home Secretary. It's absolutely crazy. What the hell does he think he's doing? Because they're making grubby deals in the background, that's why. So it's more to do with them as a party than it is to do with us in our country as citizens. And it's a disgrace. But the thing is, we need to beat them. But we can't beat them by parroting their rhetoric or trying to outdo them on the right. We beat them by sticking to our values. We beat them by staying united. And we beat them by supporting the trade unions. We support the working people of our country. And you know what? The Tories always talk about, whenever we say things, they go, you're the politics of envy. It's the politics of envy. It's not the politics of envy. What we're talking about is the politics of fairness. And I can tell you what the politics of envy is: the attacks on the trade union movement. Because what they don't want is they don't want working people to get a good pay rise. They don't want working people to have good working conditions. That's why they attack the unions. And what we don't do is we don't say, well, okay, when they say, the unions are like the Labour's pay master, you say, look, that money is the cleanest money in politics. It's from It's not coming from the Russians. Well, they still can't explain where the money is coming from or who's got it. It's not coming from them, it's coming from ordinary people. So when they start attacking the unions, remember, the unions are our aspirational vehicle. It's a vehicle that makes our lives better. So we won't take any lectures from the children in the room. We won't take any lectures from the dodgy Tories, because they are corrupt and they are I read this line the other day, and it said, for a man with a hammer, every problem is a nail. And I thought, sure, that's quite apt really, because for this government, for every problem, let's give the rich more money. The economy's crashing, let's give the rich more money. Oh, there's a pandemic, let's give the rich tons more money. Oh, there's a problem with the NHS, let's give the rich and the private companies more money. Well, it's time for us to hammer the Tories. It's time for us to turn that on its head and get the money to the wealth creators, to the working people. That's what it's time for. So remember when they said, and I think I did a report where they said, look, we can't support the RMT because the doctors and nurses, and how are they going to get to work? So what do you say now? The doctors and nurses are on strike. What's your excuse now for not supporting? And what I want to see, and as a trade unionist and a former trade union official, I want to see all the unions working together, hand by hand, united. I want to see a general strike, but let's have a coordinated strike. Because that's important, because it means then that they can't divide. Because the only way they can win is to divide and conquer, because there's more of us than there is of them. So let's not make them win. So, and look, this government is so corrupt. And I've stood up in Parliament time and time again and spoken about how much money they have stolen from us to give to their mates. And some of those people didn't give anything back in return. We didn't get PPE back in return. You know, we got nothing from them, but they got millions of pounds. And when we questioned the Chancellor and said, where is that money? He said, I'm going to write it off. 17 billion pounds, you want to just write off how? Children in the room. How dare you? How dare you decide you're going to write off our money? When I used to work for the job centre, right, they said to us we had to look out for people who came in to sign on, look out if there was any evidence of them having a second job. You know, you had to look to see if they've got paint on their hands, whatever, because they might have a second job. And then and then they needed their benefits deducted. That was under a Tory government. But they want to write off 17 billion pounds. They want to write off 4 billion pounds because their mates have got it. It's not good enough. And I don't think we should let them get away with that. And they're going to do X, Y, and Z, and they say there's no money tree. Yes, children. Yes, there is a money tree. Because where did you get the money from to give your mates for those dodgy COVID contracts where we got nothing back in return? Where did all that money come from? And we need to get some of that money back. You know, unashamedly, we need to take it back. They found a legal way to give it to them. We need to find a legal way to take it back, and that's tax. We need to tax the rich and tax the excess wealth. They'll still have enough. It's all right, they won't be poor. They'll still have enough. So we just need to tax them. Because at the end of the day, during COVID, during the pandemic, the rich got richer. They saved a lot of money. And the poor got poorer, and they went into debt because they had to survive. That's, you know, we're the sixth richest country in the world. That shouldn't be happening. There's 171 billionaires in the UK, 24 more than there was a year ago. And I'm not anti-people with money. Do you understand? You can have money, but pay people a decent wage. Pay them a living wage so they can afford to live a decent and healthy life. Don't take them. I'm gonna enter this. Like, the UK energy firms made £170 billion in excess profit. Excess profit, extra money, £170 billion. Why on earth are the bills going up? Why on earth, if you're on a prepayment meter, are you paying more than people on a direct debit? Why are you punishing people who haven't got enough more? Why? Why is that? It is cruelty, and it's cruelty that's led from the top of our government. When Rishi said he didn't have any working class friends in that video, he meant it. He meant it. And I tell you, we're not his friends. I am not his friends. The Tories are eroding our democracy, and the way to save it is not to disengage. The way to save it is to get involved. The way to save it is to register to vote, register for a postal vote, because you know they're trying to stop people voting. Yeah, it's something. It's deliberate. What this government's doing is absolutely deliberate. They're passing laws to make it harder for people to go and vote. It should be easier for people to go and vote. They say it's to stop fraud. There was about 12 people, one person convicted in the whole history of voting. It's not to stop fraud. It's to stop you voting against them. That's what it's to stop. And we've got to stand up to that. Join a union. And if you're not a member of the Labour Party, I know some of you will never be, don't worry about that much. If you're not a member of the union, join the Labour Party. We have power. We have power. We have power and influence, but we've got to use it. And let me just end on this. There are different rules for them than there are for us. But there are more of us than there are of them. So what if we unite, they cannot beat And I will admit to you that I am tired of this government. I am tired of the corruption. I am tired already of Rishi as the Prime Minister. But, and I will quote Tracy Chapman, I feel that we are on the brink of a revolution. You know, don't you know they're talking about a revolution? It sounds like a whisper. It's time for us to turn that whisper into a mighty shout and say, enough is enough.